Gonna stay in this moment, gonna lay here on the grass. I don't need to feel lonely, I am finally home at last.
Get my boots on. Wait. Make sure there's no spiders in them. You never know. Country and living. Okay. Hello, chicken. Who is that? Is that Lucy? Come here. Come do the video with me. Hello, everybody. Ignore the goat in the background. That's all you hear around here. First off, sorry if the audio is a little iffy. My last phone's audio is just terrible, and you could hear that in the past videos. You could tell what we were using the GoPro on and what we were using the iPhone. But for the time being, my husband has taken the car, and I'm pretty sure it had the GoPro in it. So we're gonna use this phone. We'll see how it does. Today, I'm going to be wildcrafting some herbs. I kind of derailed last week. I didn't post any video or blog post. It was a weird week. The video I was going to post was on our toilet installation, our new toilet installation. It just went really weird. The last toilet was installed in a really weird way. And so the way the video turned out, we're still debating whether or not we even want to post that video. It's funny, but it's just like, you know, first thing you always need is your basket. Don't paint your baskets, because if you get a basket that's already painted, or you want to paint a basket, don't do that because of the chemicals and stuff that, you know, are in the paint. Just don't do that. A sweet lady named Sharon, made two of my baskets. One is a hand basket, which I'll post a picture of there. And then another one is this one, which is a backpack basket, which I love. And she's phenomenal. And then I have smaller baskets that I got in random places. Identification guides. These are two of my favorites. Peterson Field Guides Edible Wild Plants. Ta-da! And then Wildflowers of Tennessee and the Ohio Valley, which is just an identification guide. It doesn't say anything about medicinal purposes. This is a good way to help find what you're looking for, and then you take what it is and you go online and then you research the plant. And then, of course, you need water, hair tie because I have a mop about my head, and gloves, which these are the only ones I can find currently. You don't want to cut your hands on things like metal stuff. Oh, and then like a knife or shears or scissors. And then if you're going to be digging up roots, which I don't think I will be, you want some sort of spade or shovel or something. You can get small spades that fold up. But anyways, I'm gonna go inside and grab my knife that I forgot to get, and then let's go. Okay. A little bit. The first thing I want to do is check on some elderberry me and a friend identified a few weeks back and see if it's still there or if something happened to it. I learned that it's important to keep a field journal so that you know when and where things grow and come into bloom, you know what I mean? Come into fruit. This is why you wear boots, because of snakes. That is crown vetch. Look at that milkweed. This is summer goldenrod. The cool thing about goldenrod is that it's an antibiotic, and so it's really helpful for things like just minor infections. And it's a sweet tasting tea, which I absolutely love. But it also helps with allergies. It can help with allergy symptoms phenomenally. I use it every year. Now, this is not ragweed. This is what a lot of people think the allergies come from. No, your allergies tend to come from pollen, and it tends to come from ragweed, which is a different plant altogether. Sorry, I had a car go by with an Amish friend in it, so we have Amish in these parts. Also, it should be noted that I am currently on the side of a road, a gravel road. Did not find my elderberry. I think it was mowed down by some of the mowers. I will not gather from sides of roads for medicinal purposes. If I do, it has to be a very rarely traveled road because of pollution, insecticides, herbicides, so forth. Right now, I'm just showing some of these plants for, you know, educational purposes. I'm not going to gather any of these plants currently. What I'm going to gather are plants from deeper within my property. And next to the goldenrod is Queen Anne's lace, also known as wild carrot. Isn't she a beauty? The thing to note about wild carrot is it's actually where our original carrot comes from. So you can use wild carrot. It is edible. You're gonna want the root. It is really hard. You're gonna want to boil it for quite a long time, and it can also be used as a mild laxative. Red clover is also extremely medicinal. Is an anemic's friend. Not as strong as the beet. You know what I mean? The beetroot is a lot stronger in iron, but if you have some slight anemia, you might enjoy clover. It's good in a salad and it tastes wonderful in a tea. Let it be known that red clover and white clover do similar things. However, one of them does something specifically different, and if you're interested in that, there is a blog post link in the description below. Hello, other chickens. This is what we call the prayer shack area. We had our garden here last year. It was a large garden for sure. Is everyone following? They're the goats. They're madder than a hornet. Only because, come on, Koopa. Come on, move it. Thanks, buddy. Anyways, these goats are mad because they don't like being tied up, though we need them to eat some of these weeds away. Buddy, why are you so mad? Huh? Your life is so good. Oh my gosh. There's our other little boy. Get back over there. She's gonna do what she wants to do. Let's talk stinging nettle. Stinging nettle sucks to fall into. I've got 3 chickens following me. Hold up. Excuse me. You were not invited on this hike. You were not invited. I'm sorry. You need to go home right now. Anyways, there's nothing to do with this. I guess my hike will have to be somewhat short. I don't know how I did this. And it was 4 chickens. Anyways, stinging nettle sucks to fall into. As its name mentions, it stings. And it'll leave you itching. It'll give you a slight rash. However, within that same plant is the cure for its rash. So let's start off with how it stings you. There we go. It's on focus. You see those little hairs on the stem and the leaves? Those little hairs are called trichomes. Now, these trichomes will release a histamine that will cause the allergic reaction. But if you take the plant and you make a salve out of it, the plant itself has inside of it an antihistamine. So it'll help cure that same rash. You know what sucks? Is the camera didn't get any of that. Camera didn't focus. Well, for anyone that missed what was going on in the blurred section, in the blurred footage, I just had 4 chickens follow me back home. I distracted them with food, shut the gate, and ran like heck all the way back here. Let's hope they don't follow me still. So what was I getting on about? Jewelweed. Jewelweed can be used to help with the rash, but it's also delicious in a salad. So it's great as wild edible food. So both stinging nettle and jewelweed is a wild edible staple, in my opinion, and wild medicinal staple. If I find jewelweed, which it should be growing around here, no problem, I'll show you in the footage. But let's continue gathering. I found the jewelweed. It's not the best example of a specimen, but here it is. Usually where there's stinging nettle, there's jewelweed. This is little, but if you look, a little juice in there. I see a lot of bone set starting to come up. In this shaded area. I've had bone set growing by the house for some time. Not edible. Where this is a holler within a holler. It's a different kind of microclimate, so what grows here is going to be different than what's going to grow on the ridge. Call it for this holler. I would go further, but it is not smart to go too far into the woods alone. We have a large piece of property and it's dangerous to go alone. So let's go look for some stuff, some final stuff around the cottage. There's some spice bush and some other things I'm gonna gather. Something I meant to mention is that usually you want to gather herbs in the morning because they're highest in their volatile oils. Gathering in the afternoon is usually best just for edible purposes, but in the evenings or mornings, preferably the mornings, because they've had all night to get their volatile oils back. But usually either one of those are good for medicinal purposes. Gonna drink some more water, and then we're off. Another thing is you want to be careful. We have snakes obviously in this area. We have various wildcats as well as bear, coyotes. So that's another reason not to go to the woods alone. And if you have a way to carry. It's important. Herbs I have seen around here in the spring. I've seen wild ginger. I have also seen some pale violets. I've also seen some wild bergamot here in the summer. Very, very beautiful, but I've only found a few specimens of it, and they have never really been that impressive. So you want good looking specimens for medicinal purposes. Back to the bridge. We're back, chickens. You absolute brats. Go on get. Brats. Spice bush is something that I've mentioned before, and I think at least 2 of my other videos. But there will also be a blog post in the link there. I think all of the herbs that I've talked about that I've done a blog post on, I'll put a link in the description below. Basically, go to my website. You can use it for all kinds of, info. But anyways, spice bush, I'm going to gather this and use it as a tea. But to read that blog post for all the other awesome, interesting facts if you've not already seen it. For those who also don't know, it's got a very citrusy taste. done gathering the limbs. I'm doing that because I want them to dry on the limbs. I want to hang it upside down and dry. I prefer the hanging method. If it's on an established limb, like it's a really thick limb, it's not green and new, then I will leave the limb and I'll just gather some of the leaves from it. When these berries turn red on the spice bush, I will then gather those and use them for spice, like allspice. Some bone set, not edible, but it will be pretty once it blooms. I will also blend my own tea with holy basil and spice bush. I love holy basil. I used it in one of my workshops. Actually, it was my very first workshop, Herbs for Stress Management. And I loved it so much, I definitely had to give everybody a sample of it because it's so great. That and oat straw tea. Yeah, you absolute brat. Beautiful girl. This is holy basil. Oh my gosh, it's amazing. I absolutely adore it.
Been walking down the street so many times my feet know every brick and stone. Could wear a blindfold. No matter what I do, I'm coming home to you. And I don't know why, don't know why, don't know why I'm always feeling homesick. Oh, all I know, all I know, all I know is this is where my heart is.
Abigail. Well, thank you guys for coming on my hike with me. I'm going to take some time to relax and then get to work on those salves. But I hope you guys go out and look around in your own area, whether it's your yard or your property, and see what you have. It's so important to know what you have growing around you. And that way you are just at least one step closer to self-reliance in your food as well as medicine. Well guys, hang in there.